Hi there, Theresa here from theresamonro.com, and I'm super excited to bring you your February energy update. And part of it is because all these rays of light are coming in, and it's so fun to be able to share this with you this month. For those of you that are new to my channel, I work with the rays of light. They're all the different colored rays that are coming in, and so those come straight from source. So anyway, let's jump right into it. I don't use cards or tarot typically for my gift. I don't need it, although sometimes I like to use it in my new moon and full moon gatherings too, because, you know, it's fun to show the symbology in the cards, and the art is really beautiful. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thanks so much. Be sure to give it a like. And be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to know when these videos are now live. And I'm considering doing the March one for like actually live, so let me know what you guys think about that. So all this light that you're coming in, seeing are the different rays of light coming in. So this green one here is from the 5th ray. That's a healing ray. We've got the turquoise ray here. That's the 8th ray, and that's of integration. You have a little bit of violet flame going on right here. And yeah, that one does karmic transmutation. And so we have a little bit of pink coming in back here. So these are the rays of light. Also, you've got white, they're stating right here. There's basically about 12 different rays that we have access to publicly on the earth since 2014. And those are what I teach about, and those are what I integrate. So I wanted to show you these and film right here so that you could see them. Awesome. It's super exciting. These are the rays of light that are assisting here this particular month. Now in February, it may not surprise you that this is a month that's centered around the heart chakra. They also are mentioning that during the month of February, some of you may have felt during the first couple of days you were kind of waiting on something to show up. And yeah, there's been a little bit of that going on, particularly in January as well. For some of you, it was financially related. For some of you, it was the February energy update related. But that basically happened because I was moving. So if you remember in the January energy update, and I may have mentioned it in the December 2018 one, I discussed how people are moving. So this is something that's still continuing for some people through the month of February and going into March. So what's happening in March, technically we're trying to be set up. It's a large part of the energy in February is setting us up for something big in March, because some of the things that even I personally have been, working on, it's like, okay, we're doing some research now, some inquiry and some networking, but it's really going to come into fruition in March. Now, for other people, there's some things that are coming in. They're telling me that there's some messages coming in for people, especially around the area of love. And so it's very appropriate for this month. This is also the second month in a row, same as 2018, where we had all planets still going forward. So if you're wanting to start something new, this is a good time for that. Doesn't matter what it's in. So if you're getting that idea and you're feeling like it's a go-ahead moment, please do that. You've got the green light. That green light. So anyway, by the way, each of these rays of light have angels and ascended masters and different soul lessons associated with them. And it is such a joy to sit here and have the rays and the video. It's super exciting, which is why I want you guys to be able to feel them too, because they're reaching you as well. By the way, if you want to watch this, the exact same video is on Vimeo, and you receive healing while you're watching it. So coming straight from source to you. So that link is down below as well. Now, it's interesting because one of the songs that I've been hearing is, and I don't tend to sing on video, but it's that Moving On Up to the East Side song. There was a TV show back when I was really young in the early 80s that played that, and it was pretty fantastic. So some of you have been really moving on up in frequency, but also moving on up in terms of housing, because there's some energy here where the universe really wants you. You've basically put in your work in 2018 and earlier. For some people, it's been like 10 years coming, where you're like, oh, you finally have 4 walls to yourself, or it's just in the country compared to in the city, or vice versa, and you're getting to be more around positive energy. Now, this extends beyond more than the home or the location you're wanting to be in. And there's a couple of you that may move twice between now and May. And then another group in like June or July. Again, this is, soul groups are happening to be requested on certain parts of the planet based on their frequency. And it's not necessarily grid work, but like when certain astrological alignments happen, I see certain places on the map light up. So like Jamaica's one of them. And so there's some things that are coming up to be cleared there. And so certain people are called there. Also, there's more people that are going to be called to the East Coast. They're calling out the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast of Australia. So if some of you are feeling called there, that's particularly why. And you're definitely meant to be there. It's like they're showing me your heart chakra going, oh, this is where I want to be. So that's something that you definitely deserve. So congratulations to those of you that moved in January. For others, this will extend. There's a couple that'll be trickling in the mid-March timeframe, but those are people that have a different kind of contract, meaning it's something that's going to be negotiated, or they'll be there short term. So yeah, it's kind of exciting. I'm loving that green coming in. That doesn't come in a whole lot, because it's mixed with the emerald green along with the kind of chartreuse, I think is how you say it, of the 13th ray, which is one that you don't see super often. That one brings a lot of creativity. So, oh shoot, you know what I forgot were my sprays. But anyway, I was going to spray you guys with the Cleanse and Shield one. And then also, we have the February 2019 spray. So what that does is it assists with, and it's funny because it keeps trying to focus because the angels are walking in here and the camera keeps trying to focus on them. So if you see it bouncing a little bit, I apologize as to why. So yes, the February 2019 one, and there's one for each month of the year, assists you with the astrological alignment. So what that means is it helps make it easier to process, okay? They're infused with the rays of light, different floral hydrosols, and a crystalline essence. So if you'd like more details, let me know. There's also a love spray. For those of you on my Instagram, you'll know that there's a particular shop here that works just on unconditional love, and so she also works with Master Emoto, the owner does, and so you'll know that's also where the sprays are too if you guys are here on Kauai, and called All Love Kauai. So it's pretty fantastic. I'm super excited to be seeing people moving to better places. It's so nice to be watching because as people have done their work, and there's some people who have a delayed response to the light that's been coming in, and that's really coming to light, so to speak. They're very punny, by the way. So when you're working with the rays of light, as many people are, knowingly or unknowingly, then things, people's frequency are rising. So like there was a woman that I was speaking with yesterday who just quit bartending because she's like, I just can't hold my own personal frequency amongst that. And part of it is because she's not meant to be there anymore because her frequency's gotten, higher and higher and higher. And there's what's called a frequency split. So, there's around light thieves or people that are manipulating to get what they want or using, negative intentions for people. That stuff is unfortunately going to hit some people in the face soon that are doing that. I've also seen the power of love recently and seen how that can impact a person to, love is super powerful. This is obviously a love month, so we're going to talk about how love can really literally break spells, which is not something I typically talk about, but it just dispels any negativity. So when you have someone, I've seen people that, this is a small pocket I just want to touch base on. There's a small pocket of people that are doing some manipulation because they're afraid of the shifts of where it is they're being asked to go and to let go of, or something or a relationship that isn't for them. And so it works like short term, but what I've definitely seen personally is how the power of love can really negate a lot of that. There's also some people that I'm noticing that in terms of relationship, can you tell this is a relationship based month, and moving, so part of it is, there's some people that are still trying to be nice to the people that are light thieving, that, they just don't want to hurt their feelings. Now that's not all of you. There's some of you going, no, I'm very good at that. But there's some of you that, you're being asked to step up in a way to state things that may not seem nice to you, but it's the only way that and some of you are a slight bit resentful or not really wanting to be the person to have to state things in a way that isn't nice to get this person off your back. But it's just like they kind of see niceness as a way to manipulate or get in there, if that makes sense. Okay. There's all kinds of resets happening this month, and it's really wonderful to see. Some of you have probably already seen it. A lot shifting in relationships again in terms of love. No more waiting around for, something to happen. It's just like, okay, I'm going to allow that to enter, but I'm going to go on with my life until that thing possibly shows up, instead of sitting around going, where is it? And that actually helps because one of the biggest questions I've been getting lately is about love, which is appropriate for the timing. But it's important to be out doing things you enjoy. And there's a number of us attempting to build community. And some of you already have got that, but there's a number of people that have been isolated who found it comfortable to be isolated for a long time, but aren't finding it comfortable anymore. So those are some of the things that are shifting. But I will tell you, it's some of the things that we could tolerate in 2018 are intolerable in 2019, and that's because we're meant to be. This is a light year. They're being punny again, a light year. So it's a lighter filled year. It's more fun. It's more joyous. There's a lot more laughter this year. So if any of that stuff is trickled into this year, it's like, just let it go. You let go of those people, set those boundaries, and it's like, it's okay to say yes to you first, even if that means hurting somebody else's feelings. And that sometimes is hard for certain people that are empathic, especially if you don't want to pick up on that. I'll tell you this, the fastest way to let go of a taker or a narcissist is start charging for your work. It's like, ooh, scram, especially here on YouTube sometimes when I start talking about what I want to do with the energy update, because sometimes there's lessons around, exploring equal exchange and how much am I willing to give and what am I expecting in return, and things like that. So it can upset some people here because there's a lot of free here on YouTube. So but it is a great platform for being able to reach people and get to know them and things like that. Let's see what else is going on. There's some people, there's no more settling to avoid heartbreak. I can tell you there's some people that are just getting that internal squeeze around, oh, you're still entertaining that. Well, we're not supposed to be anymore. You're really meant for the relationship that you want, and we can help you manifest that if you would like. Okay? Let me see. I know it's an interesting thing to take a break, because I feel like as I'm going through, because what happens is I end up channeling during different times of the day, different times during the month, and that gathers together in some notes, and so I go through those. So it's been some interesting things, because the other thing that I've noticed that isn't really being talked about is, and some of us talk about it behind closed doors, but it isn't happening as much publicly. A large part of the human collective is learning discernment as well. And there's also groups that have formed, or people that are being followed, that aren't walking the talk necessarily, that put on like a certain show on social media, and people resonate with that, but they're not presenting universal truths. But people who have those same subconscious false beliefs will be attracted to those people. So you see, it's very interesting to watch, where you'll see certain people that are like pure truth tellers, that don't have much of a following, but what they're stating is true, and really pure and a universal truth. And then you see somebody with like 19,000 followers, and they're not living in the light. So there's, unfortunately, some slight infiltration where people wear all the clothes and have all the tools, and either they're light beings who have some infiltration, or you have ones that are just completely not of the light, that are posing of the light. And you can see it, but some people see as deeply into others as they see into themselves. And that's okay. Not everybody's meant to be seeing like core wounding stuff, and that's okay. That's scorpionic energy. Not everybody's comfortable going there. But part of what that role is playing is allowing a large part of the collective to tune in and see what feels really true and right for them when somebody else is speaking. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying there. So, yeah, it's an increased intolerance to negativity as well. And I think that that's fun. It's fun. Oh, it just said 1616 if you guys saw that. And some of you may be resonating with that. And let me see. Yep, they're playing that song again. Moving on up to the east side. So it's cool. So yeah, it's like moving on up. Particularly if there's been areas where you have felt stuck, either in manifestation or in career, or anything around that, housing, the people that you're around. Part of that has had to do with some of that, the Saturn energy, and you've done a lot of work in 2018 for that. So it's starting to reflect now to have you on these higher relationship template timelines, or whatever timelines that are higher, that I talked about in August of the eclipse in August of 17 was the takeoff point for a lot of that. It's fun to be watching people step into a lot of those cool roles. It's also fun to be watching women really empowering other women. I think that's fun to watch too. Careful to make sure. Some of you guys are not speaking up. There's somebody that has some swelling here. Be sure to go check out the books by medical medium Anthony William, or thyroid healing is another one that would be helpful for you, because I never cough like this. This is really interesting. So there's somebody watching that has some of that, that's trying to really clear and has something that they want to say. Call on Mary Magdalene for that. She assists people in finding their voice. There's a spray for that, by the way, that assists and brings her to your side. So also, in terms of relationships, you guys, no more people as projects. There's a release of codependence, meaning like we can't oh God, they're saying we can't get our marbles off, or oh God, I can't believe they're using that phrase. Somebody's going to resonate with that. Let me know below. By fixing another. So there's sometimes healers naturally want to be around people that they have to fix, or they want to heal. And I'm like, that's fine for a career, but your partner shouldn't be somebody that you're wanting to fix. And people go, okay, I have a natural healing ability for relationships, or perhaps I'm trying to heal something from the past. But really, you'll feel a lot better if you choose somebody that has all the qualities that you're looking for, or the things that you can, you want to experience. Like, they're already, financially stable. They already, are having fun. They already like to travel, all of those things. They're already definitely available. Those are things that are going to be important versus people that you choose. Oh, well, he's cute and there's great chemistry and, the boom boom room is fun, but, but this guy's living in a shanty, like, you get what I'm saying, and doesn't have a car. Like, those are the sorts of things, like, where you're going, No. If they're not willing to face their stuff, like, it's really going to slow you down. And there's some light workers that are just moving at the speed of light. There they go with their jokes again. So also, we're working with the magenta ray around authenticity. There's some people that have been there's like on the bliss train, which is great if that's authentic, but really, to be realistic, there are peaks and there are valleys at the moment in these energies. And so it's okay to be in the emotion that you're in, and to be honest about that gives people permission to be honest about it as well. Okay. Now, authenticity also brings in love. So people pleasing isn't necessarily authentic. That's something you're going to see like ending quite a bit within you, and that may take a few days or a few weeks to maneuver, but let me tell you, you feel so much better. There's been a couple of situations where I'm right in the middle of it, and I'm just going, I've got all the warning signs of they're feeling great and I'm not, which sometimes happens when you work in the light industry. And so I've just said, hey, listen, I gotta go. I'm not feeling really good about this. And it feels really good for you to be able to say that. So some of you have permission to say that. Take care of yourself first, even if the other person gets upset. So, so it's pretty cool. They're also talking about staying focused about what it is you want. They're not talking about in a obsessing about a certain person kind of way, but more in a, this is what I want kind of way, because this is a time where your heart-led is far more heart-led around what it is that you want. Now, and that's something, some of you are feeling that internal pressure because you've got a certain thing that you're supposed to be doing and have a different partner. And so if you're in something that's been a little bit toxic and they're not wanting to go where you're going, it's important to let some of that go. It's been hard to watch some of the Geminis, and I love Geminis, but they have hung on to something since like October of 2016. They first got the nudge to let it go. And some of them have hung on and are just going, oh my gosh, why have I? So that's been hard to watch for some of my Gemini friends who I love and adore. It's just some of you guys really need to let go of, the things that aren't working for you. And if you notice you have some of that, it's like, oh, okay, I recognize that. Yeah, maybe there is some of that stuff that's time to let go of. And if you want help with that, that's okay. Speaking of the heart is the area where that particular chakra is where everything starts to manifest into the physical. All right. So that's why you see a lot of people that are at the heart chakra and above in their body. And then you also see other people that are really comfortable in the lower chakras. Like here in Hawaii, it's fun empathically to be around like the men that are really super well grounded, because you sit next to one and I'm like, whoo, that's what it feels like to be fully in the body. But when you're working with because a lot of the beings of light are up higher realms, it's still fun too to be like, whew, that's a lot of mana. Mana is like life force, essentially, something that's in every living being. But some people, we say here, have a lot of mana. So I hope that's helpful. What else was I going to tell you about that? Yeah, so this is going to be a fabulous month for many of you. I think it's going to be fun. In your meditation, surround yourself with the green and the pink rays of light, or any of the rays that have been coming in. Did you see how they all just shifted? They just shifted into light blue. And you have you see all the white that's coming in. These rays of light, by the way, come from source, come through the great central sun, or from the great central sun, through our different sun systems. And so it's not necessarily sunlight, it's not necessarily the same. If you were sitting in front of me, you wouldn't be able to see this light. You would just see straight through the window. So I've got a couple of different things I want to tell you about this month. I have a new moon gathering and a full moon gathering. You can check those out. Email me on my website if you want to know where those are at. Would love to have you. New moon is for manifesting. Full moon is for karmic clearing. Okay, so that we could have accelerated ascension here. It's super simple. You just show up. I have two more things. One is an acceleration in clearing any blocks to financial success in any area. We go through subconscious beliefs. We go through let me see what else. We go through the karmic clearing around money, around having money, because some healers forget about the fears around, what happens after success, which can sometimes cause some doom and gloom, they're stating. Yeah. So that's one particular session. Get in touch with me because that is a special. I'm only offering to 10 people. It's not on my website. You'll need to contact my team for that. And then there's also an accelerated 12-month Ascension program that I am offering at a discounted rate, okay? It covers 12 different areas for the 12 different rays, and we work together. There isn't a whole lot of homework, but we have the Ray of Light attunements that essentially take care of this. It's a huge Ascension program. Your life will change for the better. It covers things like love. We remove heart walls. We work on creativity. We talk about creativity and the green ray shows back up again. We work on personal power, joy, unity, harmony in your life, like all kinds of areas. And so each month we concentrate on resetting all 12 of your divine blueprints, and that is a 12-month program. It is starting right now. If you are interested in that resonates with you, please sign up for that. I want to work with you this month. I have some special offerings just for this particular month. So that is fantastic. So yeah, I want to help you reset your abundance, help you reset your life in a way that's super accelerated. And yeah, I love it. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a fabulous month. So anyway, okay. Also, yes, you can head over to Patreon too. There's where I place some extra little channelings as they come in, and a couple of different levels for that. There's specialized channeled messages just for in there. Thank you for watching. Give it a like if you like it. Please share with others if you feel that this is something that they may resonate with. And the angels love you, and the Ascended Masters love you, and the Rays of Light love you, and I love you. Thank you for watching and subscribing and liking, and not Google Plusing anymore because I don't really use that. But anyway, channeling somebody else. But awesome. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye.